Nala, look at your hair.
This isn't hair, this is cloth, as you called it.
Well, you think it's hair? Did you just tell me it looks like hair?
No, it's like so I can flick it out of my face.
Oh, I wish I could flick you out of this bloody seat.
Look at
Hi. What up?
Look, this is very important. I made this today.
You actually made quite a few of those.
I actually made a whole hairstyle as well, but you can't see it.
Gosh, Nala, when I came in, did I have my glasses? I can't see nothing. I swear I took them off. Oh, never mind. Yeah, so we're back with another video. This is the Mitchell Family Challenge. Why do I keep saying the Mitchell Family Challenge?
I don't know, I think
Because I'm challenged. I don't know. Basically,
mentally challenged.
we're here, we're eating some beans on toast.
And orange. She stole one.
I didn't steal one of your oranges. You did get two and didn't give me one. Like,
but you had an orange piece in your hand, so obviously you had an orange.
Anyway, we basically wanted to tell you the story about the acid attack. Wasn't it an acid attack?
Don't involve me.
Well, it was you that was actually, the acid was thrown on the acid. I don't know, it was an acid attack because I actually felt this thing.
And it was your brain. It made you think, and you need to watch more YouTube. Your brain made you think that it was an acid attack, so it made a reaction that an acid attack would have.
Okay, so you're going to tell the story?
No.
Basically, if you remember our last video, if you haven't seen it, you need to go and watch it, when we went to the vegan restaurant in Camden. Camden's a mess, by the way. So, we're doing our little thing outside, having a chat about our experience.
Down Camden Lock.
We decided we were going to try and find a route to, like, stroll down the lock. You know, Camden Lock is epic, like, you know what I mean? So, I've whipped up my Google Maps. I'm jamming, I'm chilling. You're jamming, you're chilling. You're actually looking, like, quite happy, full up. I don't know if I could tell this story, because actually it was so traumatizing. I actually want to cry thinking about it. I'm not lying either. So, basically, I'm looking at my Google Maps, and then all of a sudden, I've just seen like a splash of water drop next to me. But I'm standing here, and you're literally standing next to me, right?
No, I felt it. You didn't even notice. I was like, Mum, something dropped on my head. And then you looked, and you saw the puddle in the pavement, and you're like, what happened? And you was checking.
Yeah. So you actually alerted me first, and then I was like, wait, what's that puddle? Oh my gosh, I heard people. So I looked up here, like, where did that come from? Like, what's just happened? Like, water's just dropped on your head. And I'm like, Nala, what was it? Is it hot? Is it cold? Like, trying to find out. So I'm looking up, I hear people laughing. Do you remember? I was actually arguing with myself, like, thinking I was arguing with somebody. I'm like, you twat, you've just thrown water on a kid. And they're laughing in the flats above. Me, I'm mumming it, so I've gone to march inside this building. So no, I'm gonna go find the culprits. What is this? But wait a minute, hold on. That might actually be a dangerous substance, especially if they're laughing at us and they've done it on purpose. So when I looked up again now, I'm like, trying to spot the flats. And then I've noticed the lights turned off where the actual incidents appeared to have occurred from. So I'm like, no, wait, something doesn't feel right. So it's landed on your head, it's landed on your scarf. And when I'm touching the scarf with my hand, I'm like, that doesn't feel like water. It's got a different kind of texture. I was freaking out at this point. Ran into this building now. I'm calling the police because this could be anything. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, my hand started to sting where I touched it. I was freaking out at this point. I was literally freaking out. Nala, is that not true? Was I freaking out?
Too much. More of a drama queen than me, and I go to drama class.
I was freaking out because I was actually thinking, is it acid? Is it pee? Like, Oh my god! So my hands, I'm looking at my hand now, and like I don't get dry patches on my hand. I don't get dry skin. Like I'm looking here, I'm like, that's my skin peeling. That's my skin peeling off. My skin's peeling. But obviously, she's saying I'm being dramatic. But if you thought somebody had thrown acid in your kid's head, like you'd be freaking out too. So at this point, I'm like, alright, I'm gonna stand in this building where the people are, but I'm not gonna go marching up there because they could be like crazy people at this point. But I'm noticing it's like a student place, like student digs. So I'm like, let me look for the concierge. No concierge is available. I've called the police now. I'm on the phone to them. I said, I think I've just been in an acid attack. My daughter, obviously, I'm inspecting her at the same time. It's all happening at once. I'm noticing my hand. But Nala's like, she's like a stone. You could say to her, Nala, like, can you feel this? Yeah, like a slap. And she'll be like, no, I can't feel it. So I'm thinking she's probably standing there. Her head's probably tingling. Her hair's probably dropping out. And she can't even feel it. So I'm really sensitive, so I'm like, something's actually gone wrong here. So it took about 2 minutes, like shout out to Camden police force, because they actually got there in the nick of time. I saw before that, some girl comes out of the building. So I start getting suspicious, yeah. I'm like, do you know what? This girl might be the person who done it, and she might have come downstairs feeling bad.
But the people who were laughing were men. I
thought they were men as well, but you know, like, if it's a student place, there could be 20 people standing in a room together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at this point, I thought to myself, this girl, she's come outside to apologise. So I've given her the evils, yeah, but I'm not going to approach her, obviously. She's seen that I'm a bit dishevelled, and I'm like, excuse me, do you know who lives in those flats up there? Like, I'm asking her, I'm trying to have a conversation with her. She's looking like she wants to say something, but looking a bit scared because I was taller than her. Even though I'm not that tall, she was quite small. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to hit you, obviously. If you come downstairs, I'm not going to hit you or have a fight with you because you've done something stupid. So she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know who lives in the flats here. I was thinking, you know what, she's something to do with it. She's now saying she doesn't know who lives in there. She's come to collect her Deliveroo outside. Obviously she knew. What did you think? Do you think she knew?
I think, because they said that they usually do it as well. I don't think she knew who was in there, as it was a student place. She's not going to know.
But she said she doesn't think the flats at the back of it were part of the student accommodation. But she did say maybe you could try a different entrance. But I have a feeling that she knew. But anyway, I'm not gonna blame her because again, I have no substantial evidence. It took about 3 minutes after that for the police to turn up. But when the police turned up,
first it was like 3, number 4, number 6, turned into about 25.
there literally was like 20 police officers. They had the kits and everything.
They put like 4 bottles of.
They're like,
water
we need to inspect the child. Obviously, I'm like, it's in her hair, but she's really not sensitive, so she never really feels things. I don't know if she's in pain. I don't know if her hair's going to fall out. But the substance is on the scarf, so they've taken the scarf now. And the doctors are looking in her hair, like, it doesn't seem like she's having a reaction. I'm like, but look at my hand, you can see it. And everybody agreed, like, I don't know if you did.
I did.
There was something on my hand, but I had a reaction to the substance on my hand, which was so
I think
weird.
it was just your brain.
Do you think so? Do you know
I
what?
think it was a brain trick.
It's funny you say that because when I was little, I used to actually get hives. And they would come up with, like, I could just sit there and just be watching TV and just watch something really, like, funny, a cartoon or something, and I could just break out in hives. So you're right to say that. But obviously, as an adult, I don't get that sort of sensitivity. But I'm partially sensitive to things that, like foreign substances, I can feel like what's happening to my body. But I knew something happened. We all agreed. There was like 5 police officers, like a lady, 5 different guys. All these people rushed down the stairs to try and see where the acid attack actually happened. But everyone was like, something's definitely gone on there. So he took like 4 bottles of like 1 litre water and was pouring them all over my hand because I was actually feeling something. It was so terrible.
You were feeling something like 30 billion times.
You don't understand what I was feeling because you're so casual about it because you don't watch the news as much as I do.
I used to.
But you haven't seen like the recent stuff with the acid attacks. Or have you?
Yeah.
The acid attacks in London is like a thing. And the thing is, yeah, if someone comes up to you or somebody intentionally does something crazy like that to you, they're not going to tell you, they're going to do it beforehand. So if something happens, you have to address it immediately because you might not feel it straight away. It might be 10 minutes later. They might mix it with something. You might not feel it until the next day. Your skin might start peeling. There's no way you just take that stuff lightly. Do you know what I mean? I know you're just like, but it was all good. Like, you're just like rock chick or something. But I was freaking out because I've got to look after you. And if something bad happens to you, and God, I can't forgive myself for that sort of thing. So from a mother's perspective, yeah, I was very, very terrified. So basically, I was like,
Yes.
oh, I was like, I just got myself a bit confused there. Yeah, so basically, I was like, I have to do something about it. And if it's just me that's going to have a reaction to it, I'd rather it's me than you. But you just stood there and they were like, should we wet her hair?
No.
And she was like, no, I'm all right. No. I was like, do you know what? The ambulance is here. So let's get into the ambulance, which is when you saw us in the ambulance.
We met 2 Sams and had a little bit of an ambulance tour.
I had an ambulance tour, yeah. So they actually just made me feel really calm because I was really freaking out. And we was a little bit of a way away from home, so it wasn't like it happened in our local area. So, yeah, we got in the ambulance and I was like, listen, just test it. Make sure she's okay. We'll keep an eye on her in the bright lights. If anything happens, we'll start dousing her straight away.
I got a little itch.
You felt a tingle as well. That's what I'm saying. How are you saying I'm freaking out? Someone threw something on you and we both had a reaction.
But I think my head was just itching from whatever it was.
Maybe, yeah, could have been sugary or something. So anyway, now we've sat there for 10-15 minutes in the ambulance now because they said we're going to get you out of this situation. We're going to go into the rooms upstairs to see if we can find out what's going on, etc, etc. They didn't go into the rooms, but they went to question the people in the canteen, etc, the concierge, and then they went to see if they could find out who was actually present around 10-15 minutes ago in that vicinity location. So anyway, I was like freaking out in the ambulance, but shout out again to the 2 guys, the 2 Sams, who actually came and sat with us while we were waiting for them to test the substance and everything because they were making us laugh so much that I almost forgot what had happened. And then Nahla was like giving us jokes. She was making us play kiddie games on the phone, yeah. And then she's like, can I have an ambulance tour? So he's showing us around with the defibrillators and all these different things. And it was good in the end. And then the police officers kept coming back to check us and was like, we're testing the substance, etc, etc. So then it took them about 15 minutes. The fire brigade turned up, 2 fire brigade trucks and everything because they have to bring them to test the substance. So when the fire brigade came, the police were like, we're about to find out what it is. I was like, I know it's acid. And if it is, yeah, I'm suing everybody. Like, so we sat there and then the police came and said, apparently this has happened before. So the students in there apparently are extremely careless. And when they're in the canteen and they're, you know, like the bravado and the showing off, they throw their stuff out the window because they think it's cool. I'm like, Camden Lock is like a heritage point in England, in the UK. You can't just like throw your rubbish on there. And the people who live on the canals as well apparently had said they're always throwing their stuff on the, what are the boats on the canal called? It's not a canoe, but we'll find out later. We'll Google it.
It's a water caravan.
Yeah, the water houses, water boats, the houseboats or whatever. Yeah. So the women who lived in those were saying, oh, the kids are always doing that. So at that point, I started to calm down. I was like, okay, so maybe it's not a hate attack or something. It's just someone being careless. So they've come back to us now. The police have come through and have said, listen, you have nothing to worry about. Oh, you finished? Don't do that. Just wait until you go into the kitchen. You can do the dishes now. So basically, the police have said it's not acid. They couldn't tell what exactly it was. I just thought maybe it was like Lucozade or something. And then we were free to go at that point, and I was happy. I was happy. Obviously, I didn't want it to be anything dangerous, but I was still unhappy because, again, and it's a message to if anyone who's watching does throw litter, or even especially litter with food and drinks still in it. I mean, you never know who's standing wherever you're about to throw something, so just don't do it, because there's mothers out here who will freak out. Like, she was alright in the end though, and she handled it really well. You're brave, girl. You're brave. And I know you're holding back. I know that you actually were really, really scared as well.
Why are you looking at me like that? I'm trying to get some untruthfully truth out.
Untruthfully truth. Well, I just thought we'd share that story with you. And it is a message to all the litter bugs and to all the careless students. And obviously it was a bittersweet evening that night, but we wanted to share the video of us having a really good time eating, because that was the highlight of the night. But if you know how it ended, the drama of it all, wasn't it dramatic? It was really dramatic. She says I'm dramatic. That event was dramatic. It should never have happened.
I'm going to a drama show today, and this lady is more dramatic in the whole drama show.
Yeah, but you know I was like queen of drama in school and stuff, so I've always been an actress. But I'm not acting now. I'm not acting at all. I'm telling a story of something that actually happened, and it happened to you and it happened to me. And if it was if it was acid, now you wouldn't be feeling like that. You wouldn't be just brushing it off. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with eating my lunch because I've got to get this one off to her performance tonight. Break a leg, girl. Drinking matcha tea, highly recommended. The green stuff, delicious. Some guava juice. Don't go nowhere without my guava juice. Actually, the matcha tea isn't that tasty. But the feeling you get of energizingness and like calm is unbeatable. It's worth it. Nahla's just beat up some oranges. She didn't want to share them with me.
You had one already.
I didn't have an orange. I had a piece of an orange. So she's going to crack on with some Play-Doh and then get herself spruced up for tonight. Apologies about the outfits. We look a tiny bit scruffy. I'm off to the spa while she's rehearsing. So maybe you'll see me later on Instagram at the spa. Again with the hair mask. For some reason I'm always shooting videos with hair masks on. I'm obsessed with not doing my hair apparently. So yeah, see you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and if you want to see more of us, like and subscribe, share the video, add us on Instagram. Her Instagram is Nahlatron. No, it's not. It's Asmara Nahla.
I'm changing it soon.
Well, I monitor her Instagram, so that's why it's called that. But she probably will get a chance to change the name and everything. But it's her page of her activities. So you can see some more of her making her Play-Doh, some of her art. She's very, very creative. So also if you want to interact, you can do so in the comment section or again on Instagram. My Instagram is Asmara Queenie. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm hoping this position mannequin challenge.